This is Happiness Solved with America's happiness coach, Sandee Sgarlata.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm so happy you're here. Happiness Solved is the place where we explore everything you need to become the best possible version of you. This is Sandee Sgarlata, and today I've got some exciting news for our dedicated listeners. We've just launched our exclusive members-only portal. This is your ticket to a world of additional content designed to deepen your understanding and engagement with the Happiness Solved mission. To learn more about all of the exciting benefits, stay tuned until the end of the episode where I will explain in greater detail. For those interested now, head over to happinesssolved.supercast.com. Today is another amazing conversation, so let's get started. Larry Steinhouse, I've met you a couple of times now. So excited to finally have you on my podcast. And it's even better to be doing it live. That's the great part. Yeah, right? It's incredible. We are live from the Chicago Marriott Northwest at Bill Walsh's Ultimate Wealth Camp.
Wait, we're live?
Yeah, we're live. Well, this is a recording, but you and I are live.
Well, yeah. But that's not live. We're not live. We're live. We're not. If we were live, I would get so scared.
Yeah, no, we're not live as in people are watching us live this very second that we're recording.
So you're watching right now? This is not live. You're watching a recording. I might not be wearing the same jacket when you watch this.
So for those who are just listening, you're really missing out because Larry is known for his jackets. He shows up at these events with the most gorgeous jackets that are loud. But you know what? But you're not like this loud kind of person, I guess, on stage, but you know what I mean? You know, like some people are like really just all the time on. I mean, you're pretty like mellow and chill.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think I'm very loud. I think I'm the most obnoxious person in the room. And if I'm not, I better try harder.
Maybe you need to try harder because I don't know.
I just have fun. I have fun dressing like this. You want to know why I dress like this?
I don't know.
So you ever hear
only at events because I only have seen you at events.
Right. So you ever hear the expression "dress for success"?
Yeah.
Well, you have to be extremely successful to have the nerve to dress like this.
Wow. Okay. Good point. And he is very, very successful. So tell the audience what it is that you do. And then I want to hear your backstory, like how you got to where you are today.
So I simply make wealth building simple. You know, everybody's nervous about the stock market. I don't know how to invest in the stock market. I heard that that's rigged. I heard that it's fake. I heard that blah, blah, blah. What people ever do is lose money in the stock market. Same thing with real estate. I don't know how to invest in real estate. I heard that everybody loses money in real estate. You should see my friend's brother's best friend's uncle's niece's daughter's best friend's niece and her uncle and her friend lost money on a real estate deal once. I don't want to invest in real estate. Come on, really? Stop listening to broke people. Start listening to smart people. I'm going to teach you how to do all this stuff so you can do it with ease. Understand the simple basics of the stock market. I mean, you know, the stock market is not what you think. It's not a casino. There's logic and reasons why stocks go up and down, and you can predict those reasons within reason.
Right. Now, is it a lack of education or people just want the get rich quick?
No, it's a lack of improper education. I'm sorry, it's a form of improper education. So where does most people get their money information from?
The news,
friends,
family,
right.
Family, news.
So if your friends and family aren't millionaires, just say, hey, whatever you're telling me right now, at least you've told me exactly what not to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Because if they're not millionaires, they shouldn't be giving you advice.
And if they are, you know exactly what not to do, because if they're giving you advice and it didn't work for them, how's it going to work for you?
That's right. Very good point. So how did you get to where you are today in this line of work?
Wow. So I've always been entrepreneurial. You know,
okay.
I consider myself a serial entrepreneur. However, when I was 18, I bought my first investment property. And it was pretty cool. I bought it. I paid $23,500 for it. Sold it a year later for 50% profit, which was a terrible idea. And the reason it was a terrible idea is at that time, it was making $200 a month positive cash flow. And by now, it would probably be worth about $350,000. And it would probably be making some incredible, like $3,000, $4,000 a month cash flow. It would have been an incredible opportunity for me to have kept it. And the longer if I would have kept it, I would have made a lot of money. So that was my first property. And I call that my first mistake, even though it was a great profit. Then then I was buying properties. I was doing everything in a system where I said that I would only buy properties that made money, always buy properties that were profitable. And I would always make sure that the properties I bought would pay the mortgage on that property and let it keep growing. Well, came 2006 and 7. Remember 2006 and 7?
I do.
When the whole world thought real estate was Bitcoin.
Yeah, and my ex-husband and I put a contract to build a house in 2006. By the time it went to closing in 2007, it was already $300,000 underwater.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I decided to change my strategy to a really smart strategy, to what I call now the stupid and greedy strategy. And the stupid greedy strategy is buying properties that don't pay for themselves, paying too much for the property. And I'm telling you right now, it's guaranteed failure. So come 2008, I lost everything. I actually went bankrupt. And I decided that this bankruptcy wasn't going to be oh my God, I'm such a loser, I went bankrupt. It was going to be a starting over point.
Right.
And I actually decided, I made a plan to become a millionaire again. I actually wrote it in my first book. The book is called If I Won $25 Million in the Lottery. Really stupid name for a book that explained what I wanted to do. But inside that book, I say exactly how I'm going to do it. And I followed the steps that I said I was going to do and became a multimillionaire again. I own tons more properties than I owned before, millions and millions, much more properties. And, everything is great. And I make a lot of money. I also learned the stock market many years ago. And I learned something called stock options, which is an incredible way to leverage the stock market with a small amount of money. And I teach that as well. And then I decided to open up a company to teach this. It's called Investor Schooling. And people could go to investorschooling.com. They can find out more about that. And I teach it on a regular basis. I have a class every Thursday on just about anything that has to do with money. It's mostly focused on real estate and buying real estate properties and investing in the stock market. But I teach things like how to get healthcare for free. I teach things like, I don't know if you remember the EIDL loans that they had during COVID. We taught people how to get them.
Okay.
That was part of our class. Part of our class, hey, this is how you fill out the application. This is what you're supposed to say. This is what you're not supposed to say. And you would get more. We also teach people how to build credit.
I like
love that. You love this one. You love this one.
Slide that you did. I had to take a picture of that one. So I want to dive into more of that, but I want to take a pause for a second and make sure that the listeners heard you and how you were able to switch your perception of going through bankruptcy, because you kind of just said it really fast. And I just want to point out that because that's so valuable for people, that you could have wallowed in your pity and been a victim.
Like everybody else.
Like everybody else. Woe is me. I filed bankruptcy. And instead you're like, no. And you use that to fuel you to go through the recovery. And I think it's that type of mindset that people can go through sometimes multiple bankruptcies and still end up being another multimillionaire.
Absolutely. Sure.
You hear about it all the time. So if you could just real quickly, how are you able to just flip that switch that quickly?
It was a decision. It's simply a decision.
Okay.
I told the story on stage that literally the day after my bankruptcy, I went to a car dealer and bought a car, and I used the loan. Now it's funny because you have the car salesmen are. They're like, oh, great, I made a sale, and then they send you to the finance company and into the finance room, and the guy's like, oh yeah, we're gonna finance this car. This is great. La, 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 la. And then he runs my credit, and he literally looks at the screen, and I can actually see his expression, like,
oh my gosh,
Mr. Steinhouse, do you know your credit score is 420? I'm like, yeah. So he goes, well, I can get you a loan, but I don't think you want it. I go, yeah, I do. How much is it? He goes, 24%. I looked at him, I go, oh, that's all? That's great. Let's do it. And he was like, what? Why would you do that? And I said, because this is the beginning of me rebuilding my credit. And that's really what it was, is beginning of rebuilding my credit. So now, years later, where am I? You remember the number?
No, I don't.
$882,750. $882,750. I have available credit on credit cards, just credit cards. I'm not talking about personal loans. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about credit cards. $882,750. Now, you know what I could buy with that $882,750? Anything I want.
Except Bill Walsh wouldn't sell you some time.
What?
People wouldn't sell you additional time on the stage.
No, that was, but I used the time. But it was very funny because a lot of people are like, why would you need 882,000? Why not?
Yeah.
So
what is the strategy behind? Because I know you rebuilt your credit, and now you've got all of that available credit line. So how does that help you? Other than the fact that, yes, you can go buy things, but then you got to pay it off. Right?
Well, it's okay, but so let's say I'm going to buy let's say I find a house and it's a really, really good deal. Let's say it's worth 100,000. I could buy it for 50,000, but I got to come up with the money fast. Now the house is in such disarray that no bank's going to lend me money on it. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me go tap my credit cards and buy the house. And within 3 months, I'll use the credit cards to renovate it. And within 3 months, I will sell that property and sell it for 150,000.
And then you pay off.
And I pay off the credit cards, you
And
pay
the
off,
credit
and
cards.
then that's all I need to do. So I use, the expression other people's money is often misunderstood. Other people's money is not just me borrowing money from you as another person, but borrowing money from the bank. I could borrow money from the bank. That's other people's money. I could borrow money from my credit cards. That's Chase's money or Citicorp's money. I don't care. That's their money. So I can use other people's money to buy my properties, which includes credit cards.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So some of the investing things that you're teaching at your school, is there any really simple practical advice that you can give the listeners to maybe for somebody who hasn't really started looking at investing in the stock market? Where should they start besides your school?
Well,
Right,
of course,
yeah.
that's the obvious answer.
That's
right?
the obvious
Right.
answer.
But I
Right.
mean, if you just want a piece of practical advice, here's a piece of practical advice. If you want to study the stock market, I want you to pick 6 stocks, just 6 stocks. I don't care what the company is. It's a company a company that you understand what they do, and that's it. Just pick 6 stocks. Now, I'm not telling you to buy these stocks. I want you to watch them for 3 months.
Okay.
Just watch them go up, watch them go down. See if you can try to guess why they're going up and down. See if you can understand it. See if it makes any sense to you. See if they start to go up and down with the Dow Jones or the S&P. If they go, just this is basically what you do. Remember when you drove a car for the first time, right? And your parents said that's the brake pedal, that's the gas pedal, right? Now you had kind of an idea that you knew that those pedals did something, but you weren't exactly sure what they did. But when they explained it to you, then you started doing it. They're like, oh, that gas pedal. If I step on a gas pedal too hard, the car will go really fast. And then most people did that. They step on it most of the time. They like step on it really, really, really slow because they're like, I'm afraid, right? And then you jump into the brake pedal real fast.
Right.
But after a little while, after a couple of weeks, you knew how to use the gas pedal. You knew how to use the brake pedal. So if you think you're going to go into the stock market tomorrow that you've never even understood or looked at before, and go buy 3 stocks to make money, it ain't going to happen. You need to start slowly, step on the gas, slowly step on the brake pedal, understand how it works. And it's not that hard to understand once you start paying attention to it.
Nice. I love that analogy. That was really amazing. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience before we finish up? And how can they
can actually,
find you?
they can reach me. So actually, the easiest way to reach me is contactlarry.com. It's contactlarry.com. Just go there, and it has connections to all my websites. Connections to Investor Schooling, my personal website, my books, anything you want. So contactlarry.com is probably the easiest. And you know what? Anytime anybody wants to reach out to me, find me on Facebook, find me anywhere. I don't care. Just say hi. Make sure that you tell me that you saw me on this show, and I will definitely say hi. Because most of these people saying hi now on Facebook are fake bots.
I know. I know.
I love it when I get a PM or a private message from somebody who I haven't heard from in 3 years, and they say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, My answer to that right away is, "Hey, are you still working for the FBI finding Facebook scammers?"
That's a good one I'll have to use because as a woman on Facebook, and I'm sure the listeners can attest to this, is like you're constantly getting men. And what I've learned is if it's a man in a uniform, in a military uniform, 99.9 times out of 100%, okay, like 99.9 out of 100%, it's a bot. Or it's somebody posing as that person. And it's generally somebody who's
Imagine
overseas.
if you get a text message from me wearing this. Would you think that?
Yeah, but it's all people that are just trying to scam you in some way.
I know exactly. Yeah, they clone me all the time too.
Oh, well, of course. Why wouldn't they clone this?
Well, I like that.
All right, Larry, thank you so much. And thank you to all the listeners.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. And as promised, I'd like to give you more details of what you can expect as a member of the Happiness Solved exclusive community. First, you'll have access to a treasure trove of extra podcast episodes. These episodes dive deeper into the topics we discuss, featuring additional expert interviews only found here. But that's not all. As a member, you'll also get access to a series of mindset training sessions. These recordings are tailored to help you understand the how and why your mindset is the most important asset you have, empowering you to achieve your personal and professional goals. And for those of you looking to find a moment of peace in your busy lives, we've got something special. Exclusive guided meditations. These sessions are crafted to help you relax, refocus, and recharge. Whether you're a meditation guru or just starting out, there's something here for everyone. Becoming a member is more than just accessing extra content. It's about joining a community of like-minded individuals, all on a journey to live life to its fullest and become the best possible version of you. So how can you join? It's simple. Go to happinesssolved.supercast.com and sign up. Don't miss out on this opportunity to deepen your journey with us. Again, that's happinesssolved.supercast.com, and it will also be in the show notes. I am so grateful you're a part of our Happiness Solved family, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your continued support. Again, I am so grateful for you, and I hope that you and your family are healthy and safe, and that your lives are filled with peace, joy, and happiness. Take care, everyone.